In this video, I'm going to give you a brief overview of many of the aspects of the Macintosh operating system. The number one thing you need to learn is that when you turn on your Mac and you sign in, you are looking at the Finder. Now, a lot of people refer to this part right here with the ocean wave in the background as the desktop, and that's correct. In fact, these files are sitting right on top of the desktop. But we are in the application called Finder, and the way you can tell is if you look in the top left-hand corner, right next to the Apple menu, the word Finder is shown. Now, the Finder is what lets you add windows. You can get a new Finder window. There's several ways to get a new Finder window. This will let you access see if you notice, I click on the desktop on the sidebar here and it shows me the exact same files I have. If I were to delete one of these, this would be deleted there. If I were to rename one of these, for example, get rid of the S there, you'll notice that the S disappeared over here. So this in your sidebar is what you're looking at over here. Let me close this. Also in the Finder, we have options for making a new folder. So for example, if I want to make a new folder right where I am, and this action applies to whatever view you're looking at. So right now, if I were to click this, I would get a new folder on the desktop. So watch. I click, there we go. So I have an untitled folder, and right now, you'll see it's a light blue. That means it's ready for me to change the name. So if I just want to name this, you can hit delete if you want. It doesn't matter. You could have typed over the top of it, random files. And then just like on a Windows machine, you can just copy these. I clicked and I dragged and I select all of them. I could drag one at a time, but sometimes it's easier just to select them all and drag them inside. And now it's easier. Now if I come back to over here where I say a new Finder window, you got to make sure you know the difference between a window and a folder, all right? There's many other things we can get to here later, but we don't have time for that. So new Finder window, and I'll look at my desktop here and you'll see those files are in there. Now while I have this window open, let me show you a few ways to look at your files. These buttons right here, this one will organize by icon. In other words, I would see a separate icon each here for every file. This is called list view. It gives me this disclosure triangle. It lets me see what's inside. This is a great view if you want to see if you have folders with other folders with other folders inside of them, and it gives you a hierarchical way of viewing things. This other way is a column view. I can see the contents of a file of folders in here while I can still see out here, just a different way. This other one I don't use very much. It's called cover flow. It does give you short little or larger thumbnails of things. It's not one of my favorite views. I can drag this window out a little bit, but anyway, you can see that what's in the file without really opening it. Anyway, not my favorite. I tend to stick with list view or column view most of the time, and I'm going to click this little green button, and that'll shrink my window to fit everything here. If I don't want to see all these tags, notice as I come up and I click here, maybe your window's different. Maybe you've accidentally clicked on hide. Anyway, that'll hide those things. I like to at least have the favorite showing and my shared, and we'll get into that later. Okay, the red one closes the window. I'm going to close that. Okay, a couple ways. First thing, you're going to be needing to know how to open up programs. My favorite way is to use this spotlight right here. You can see I used it to find QuickTime Player. I click this, I can type. Once that's blue and selected, you can delete, just start typing. For example, in our class, we're going to open up Final Cut Pro a lot. I'm just going to start typing Final, and before I even get, I think the first letter F, found it. Now I can either click that or just hit the return key. Well, when it's blue, hit the return key. But if I click it, Final Cut Pro will open, and then we're good to go. Now if you want Final Cut to stay this dock, now it takes a while for Final Cut to open, but if you want Final Cut to stay in the dock here, you just simply click and hold, wait for it to stop bouncing. Okay, very close. Okay, I can click and hold and drag it to another location where I want it. Maybe I want it right dead center so I'll always see it. That's fine. and now it will be there all the time. Now, most of you will get used to clicking this red dot to close the program, but you need to make sure the program actually closes. Some programs don't behave right, and you'll still see the name of the program up here in the top left. If it does that, just click on the name of the program, go down and look for something that says quit. Anyway, let's do that again with another program, maybe Microsoft Word. So I'm going to come over here to Spotlight. By the way, I like the shortcut Command Space, so the Command key is right next to the space bar, and I'm going to do that for this one. I'm going to hold the Command key down, tap the space bar, and I'm going to type Word, W-O-C right there, and it found it, and I'm going to hit the Return or the Enter key. Either one does not matter. Okay, and Word automatically launches. That's my favorite way to launch programs. I don't have to look for it, I just type it and it goes, and there's Word, and I'm ready to go. I just double click that. Word will do what I was saying. For example, watch, I'll close this, but Word stays running. So if I were to click here on the desktop, now it's switched to Finder, but Word is still running in the background. The way I can tell is if you look at the bottom of the dock here, you see that little white light underneath this? I have Word and QuickTime, and over here on the left I have the Finder running. The Finder is always running. But if you want to quit Word, you can click and hold, and you'll get options to quit it, to hide it, to do a bunch of other things you could with it. Or you could hold the Control key down and click, which is like a right click. Or if you have your mouse set up for right click, then you could obviously do the right click, and I'll show you how to set the right click in another video. Okay, and maybe I want Word to stay. Last time I slid Final Cut. I'll show you another way to make Word stay. For example, if I were to quit Word, notice it doesn't stay because I didn't tell it to. I'm gonna have to open up Word one more time. So Command Space, hit Enter, Word will open. Now if I want Word to stay here, for example, if I know I'm going to be using it often during the year, I would click and hold, or hold the Control key down and click. And right under here under Options it says Keep in Dock. So I can keep it in the dock. And now when I quit Word, for example, I'll quit Word up here. Now it will stay there. The light will go away. See, the light's gone, and it will be there ready for me to click. I can still click and hold and drag these wherever I want, not a problem. Let's see, something else. Another way to open an application is this thing called Launchpad. Launchpad is built into the operating system. You click on this, and then all of your apps are here, and you can use the ball on the mouse to roll up and down and see all the apps you have. Some you may be familiar with, iMovie, GarageBand, Pages. Others you may not know, Keynote, Mission Control. Anyway, and to close Launchpad, you just click anywhere in an open spot, and you're out of Launchpad. Let's see, another thing you may need to do during class is connect a USB flash drive, or some people call them a thumb drive. The USB connections are in the back. There's also some on the keyboard. You connect it, and it will show up right here on the right-hand side as soon as it takes a chance to read. Might take a few seconds. There it is. There's mine. And you just double-click and do whatever you need to do. Maybe you need to, oh, there's a good video I want to show you. Right there. Double-click it. This is a Harley Davidson we blew up. So then, yeah, it's having a hard time playing off my flash drive. I should have copied it to the computer. Anyway, so there, now you've, yeah, I don't want to do that. I just want to close this. We're still recording. I'm just going to get this out of the way. Okay, when you're done with your flash drive, please just don't yank it out. You need to eject it. There's several ways. I can click and drag this down to the trash can. Notice when I click and hold on this, this icon of the trash can turns into an eject symbol. So I could drag this right on top of that and it will eject it. Or I can hold the Control key down and click, and I get this option here to eject. Either way, whichever way you choose, you need to eject. I believe there's another way I believe if you select it, yeah. If you select it, you can come up to the File menu, choose Eject, or even learn that shortcut key. That's the Command key and Eject. Either way, once it's gone, then you can pull it out. Let's see. Okay, some of you may want to learn how to rearrange or change where your dock is. I'm going to show you that. Under the Apple menu, you have some dock preferences. Hiding means the dock will go out of the way until you come down here with your mouse. Some people like that. Another one, I'm not a fan of that, so I'm going to turn it back on. Another one is magnification. So when your mouse hovers, the icons become big. That's kind of cool for a little bit, but I quickly get tired of that. Some other options here. You can position it on the left sidebar with magnification. You can turn all those off, or on the right. And if you want to change all the settings at once, come over to Dock Preferences, and it will open up the System Preferences. And here you can adjust where it is on the bottom, small or large. Now it won't get any larger than the most icons you have. If you see that you don't want some icons, let's show you how to remove them. Click and drag up until you see the puff of smoke. Right there, see the puff of smoke, then it's gone. If you don't want them, drag up. As soon as you see the puff, just let go. You can get rid of a lot of icons on here if you want to streamline your experience. You know you might never use iPhoto, anything like that. Anyway, the magnification will only get as big as your, up here, as the number of items in your dock. Let's see, I'm going to turn off magnification. I'm going to close this. Let's see. I think that's about it for this tutorial.